All right, welcome back. It is the weekend, and without any surprise, Bitcoin is just trading sideways today with no volatility or volume. However, there are some things I wanted to go over on the charts quickly today, so let's go ahead and run through all of that right now. But before we do jump into what I'm seeing here on the charts, I gotta let you guys know there is only one day left for that BingX limited time event that I have been running on this channel for a couple weeks now. So make sure if you're at all interested, if you do trade any futures at all, go ahead and sign up to their exchange using that link. Then use the event link and you will be registered to go ahead and get a bunch of great rewards up to $7,300 just for completing simple tasks on their exchange. So definitely do not miss that. But you didn't come here for a commercial, so let's go ahead and quickly jump through this Bitcoin price action. First off, starting out with this box of support we had been talking about, this golden pocket retest filling the CME gap that we had down here. We were looking for this to move on up and then come back down and make a secondary low. And because this is a CME gap, to fill a CME gap, it cannot happen on the weekends. So the fact we did not come down today to grab it, as I kind of drew out in my last video, makes a lot of sense. We actually wouldn't have really expected that. This makes more sense to go ahead and actually chop, then do the flush before heading up. And that's kind of what I do expect to happen. I think a lot of longers right now, especially if they're using high leverage, are going to get trapped trying to enter on price right now. While we are certainly above support, we are not making good lows. You can see all of these wicks at around the same level here. I will show you in the order flow in just a second. These are all being supported by one single 500 Bitcoin wall, which is not that big of support and just shows you kind of how low volume is today. So I do fully expect these levels to get kind of cleaned out within here. We also have some more levels to the downside sitting right at that golden pocket. You can see these lows within here would make sense to get swept into these inefficiencies in the chart where that CME gap is. This is just a big place I expect price to want to target to when we do start opening the week Monday. But we did already cascade some liquidations, squeezing out some of those long positions, and afterwards went ahead, shot straight back up and reclaimed the support here, showing strength in the market. So I'm certainly not rolling it out of the question that we would just kind of chop sideways here before breaking this trend to the upside, giving us those clear skies to launch up higher. And if we did clean out these lows during this consolidation, this would actually structurally look pretty good too. So yeah, that's also a big likelihood, but we are just kind of in the middle of a range. So of course, going up or down from the middle of a range is going to be about 50-50. We just want to be watching for those levels to the downside or the upside to actually enter our positions. Never want to be doing that in the middle of a range, at least on leverage. Of course, do whatever you want on spot. If you're just buying altcoins on spot right now, that's kind of a different story, but still want to be cautious, right? But let's go ahead and talk about what was going on in our order flow, that wall that I was talking about, the 500 Bitcoin wall, as well as some interesting stuff I was seeing here, as in all of these large buy walls that we had been looking at that were anticipating the CME gap to be filled, took their positions out of the order books. I'm assuming these are algorithms, right? Bots that are trading Bitcoin, and they were targeting that CME gap on purpose. And like I said, with markets being closed right now, it does make that CME gap fill an invalid trade. So yeah, I fully expect that's the reason that these positions all closed out at the same time. But what is interesting is when these were taken out, we do see at least one wall being pushed all the way up to current price. You see this 500 Bitcoin wall right here, which Bitcoin has just not been able to test whatsoever. It's just holding right above it with this, low volume day on the weekends. Not surprising that a wall like this is able to hold up price. You definitely do see, though, he has already filled some of the wall, so I don't expect this to be a spoof, right? Sometimes they'll place these walls below price to go ahead and distribute above, right? If they're trying to close out of their long positions, spoof the order books to distribute. But that's a risky game for these guys, especially when they are placing it this close to market price, as well as with it being, already partially filled. Yeah, this is probably a real order within here, and we'll see how price reacts if we do come down and tap it. I would kind of expect to sweep this liquidity, grab kind of deeper in here into some of these other orders in the order books before a good low would come in. But this is a big level to be watching out for, because if we do break down and this backtest as resistance, that shows that the market is bearish and they're not trying to untrap his position because they want to squeeze him lower. So just some things to watch out for on the charts. Of course, this is all probabilities. We could easily, reject come up. Like that's definitely just something that could happen. I'm not saying rejection of that really means too much, but just some things to think about. But yeah, coming back to the main chart here, these are still the same levels we want to be watching out for. These are all very real possibilities we could target any of these liquidity zones, volume levels, all of that good stuff with the price action I'm seeing right now on the charts. With the data I'm able to get just based on today, it is pretty 50-50 on where we're going to go. But as I've been saying on the channel, more liquidity is to the upside. So overall, I do kind of expect that all-time high to come in before the final top does come in for crypto overall. And we should see mass euphoria going into the launch of that ETF, which is still not confirmed yet. So we'll be watching out for that. But until then, I really don't think we have anything to worry about. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I don't want to take up any more of your time because there's really not too much going on in the charts right now for Bitcoin. But if you do have any questions or just want to join the community for this channel, make sure to join my Discord. Link is in the description down below. And as I said at the beginning of the video, there is only 1 day left for the BingX limited time event. So make sure, if you are at all interested, to go ahead, sign up using my link down in that description, and then go ahead and use that event link to get those limited time futures, bonuses, and rewards. Lots of awesome perks for an awesome exchange. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.